Look, I reckon Caitlin Clark is going to be even better coming into the season. Just look at her arms, for God's sake.
Caitlin Clark just sent another shockwave through the WNBA, but this time it wasn't a logo 3. Forget the highlight passes for a second. The real buzz is about something far more fundamental, something physical. The player who dazzled as a rookie is back, but she's different, stronger, more imposing. Clark hit the offseason with a singular focus, and the results have rivals scrambling and one legendary coach perhaps regretting his earlier predictions.
Said it best. This kid's in for a rude awakening. And they all jumped over her, but they didn't read the whole thing that she said. But nobody's printing. You know, Diana Taurasi was right. This kid's on the wrong team. She's got the wrong skill set to handle the physicality of that league. And she's a rookie. And if you're a WNBA player, if you're any kind of player, you're going to say, I'm going to make a statement.
Remember Clark's rookie season? It wasn't just impressive, it was a brutal initiation. Night after night, she faced a level of physicality that bordered on assault. Defenders like Kennedy Carter, Angel Reese, and Dejanai Carrington weren't just playing defense, they were delivering messages.
I mean, Geno Auriemma was talking about Caitlin Clark and Paige being the same build. Yeah, they're not the same build right now.
Hard screens that felt like car crashes, elbows finding ribs, bodies bumping her off her path relentlessly. It looked less like basketball and more like a targeted campaign to break the league's brightest new star. Cheap shots became a running theme.
Topic going on right now. Caitlin Clark says she got cheap shotted against the sky. I mean, throughout the season, she's been getting beat up. Hard screens, elbows.
Yet through it all, Clark didn't crack. She didn't retaliate, she just kept getting up, kept launching shots, kept finding teammates. But those hits, that constant barrage, clearly left an impression.
Alright guys, we're starting a little TikTok weight room vlog. We're gonna show you what we do.
Get the butt down.
Okay, speed. Okay, speed.
Wait, just before it.
Oh, she is strong. Alright guys, that's our lift. We are strong. Okay, we're actually strong. What?
While some might have spent the offseason recovering or relaxing, Clark saw an opportunity. She didn't just lick her wounds, she went to war in the weight room. Forget vacation photos, Clark's offseason narrative was dominated by whispers and then confirmations of intense strength training.
So Caitlin Clark is one of the best and well-known basketball players on the planet right now. And this past offseason, she worked really hard to add 8 pounds of muscle to her frame to give her an additional edge on the offensive and defensive ends of the court. And it clearly paid off because she was able to...
And the physical evidence? It's undeniable. Recent photos show a stark difference. Her arms look sculpted, more defined. Her frame appears sturdier, more capable of weathering the storm she knows is coming. It's the kind of transformation that makes you do a double take.
A lot of stuff yesterday, a lot of people were talking about it. Just how much bigger Caitlin Clark has gotten. That's all people are talking about. So obviously, if you're looking at the picture with her with Serena Williams, like her arms look a little bit bigger, but it's kind of hard to tell from there.
Remember UConn's Geno Auriemma suggesting Clark might struggle with the WNBA's physicality? That smug "we'll see if she can take the hits" vibe? Well, it seems Clark took those words.
And we've seen it again, more and more throughout this offseason. Like, pictures of Caitlin Clark, just how much she is bulked up. And again, it's a sign of somebody that is very clearly working her way towards being, well, no longer the skinny guard that they said was nowhere, was not big enough.
This physical evolution isn't just for show, it's unlocking terrifying new dimensions to her offensive game. Gone are the days when defenders could simply body her up, shove her off her driving lines, or disrupt her rhythm with casual bumps. Now Clark is initiating contact.
And not only that, like Caitlin Clark has... I hope that Caitlin Clark has not put on... Because in fairness, she doesn't look like there's too much size being put on. But compared to last season, how much bulk she has put on. You would hope again for a Caitlin Clark, because Caitlin Clark is built like a soccer player.
We're seeing her post up smaller guards, using her stronger base to establish position. She's absorbing contact on drives, finishing through hits that would have sent her sprawling last season. That limitless range...
Funnily enough, I don't think it's going to have effect on the pace that she plays at, because if you watch Caitlin Clark play, the pace that she plays at is more here. Like Caitlin Clark is much faster here than she is like physically. And that's one of the things I don't think people really know.
But perhaps the most startling development is on the other end of the court. The narrative last year was often about how teams could target Clark defensively. Try that now. That added strength is translating into a vastly improved defensive presence.
She's built like a long distance runner, like her natural build, which is why there hasn't been too many injuries. She's got that elasticity that doesn't seem to really be too common as far as WNBA players are concerned. Like considering whether it be WNBA in college, she doesn't put that much force through her legs considering how much speed she uses. Like there's not that much change of direction. She's just downhill at one speed.
She's fighting through screens with more authority, refusing to get easily pushed off her spot. She's holding her ground in the post against bigger players. She's quicker laterally.
Somebody said the league is not ready for Caitlin. 3.0 MVP is hers. Yes, go. Fever admin, I love you. Caitlin put some weight on, bro. She definitely got in the weight room. And like, I don't think Caitlin put weight on. I think Caitlin put a lot of muscle on. I think that's what the biggest difference is that we're seeing out of Caitlin. You know, going into this upcoming season, I think Caitlin put a bunch of muscle on, and it shows. It shows within her, you know, her body frame. It shows that her arms is bigger and her thighs is way wider. She definitely put some muscle on.
This wasn't just about lifting heavy weights. It was a targeted campaign to eliminate weaknesses. Remember those workout clips that went viral? They weren't just hype. Clark was drilling her ball handling under intense pressure, simulating the double teams and traps that led to turnovers last season. She was refining her mid-range game, adding floaters and pull-ups to punish defenders who try to run her off the three-point line or cut off the drive.
So Caitlin Clark in college was not the strongest player in the world. Like, she was somebody that wasn't weak by any means, but we saw when it came to the WNBA that she wasn't able to really assert herself physically.
The result of this offseason metamorphosis, the buzz is deafening. Analysts aren't just talking about improvement, they're talking about domination. Whispers of MVP contention in just her second year are growing louder. Some are floating potentially historic stat lines.
If you guys saw this workout has gotten a lot of people excited for Caitlin Clark because she is like directly working on her weaknesses, which I think is a good look, honestly. I think that's a really, really good look for her because, again, when we're seeing somebody working on their weaknesses and not the glamorous weaknesses.
Could she realistically average close to 25 points and push towards 10, even 12 assists per game? Could she become the first WNBA player ever to average a true points and assists double-double for an entire...
Let's break it down. First, ball handling under extreme pressure. Last year, Clark led the league in turnovers. Some of that, her teammates not being able to handle the heat on her passes. But a lot of it came from intense double teams and defenders swarming her every possession. So what's she doing? Working through it. Sharpening her handle, getting lower, faster, and more controlled. She's making sure those defenders won't even get a chance to trap her this time around. Second, her mid-range game. Everyone knows Clark can launch it from the logo or finish at the rim. But what about that awkward in-between zone? The one spot defenders tried to funnel her into? Not anymore. She's drilling floaters, working on pull-ups, and making sure she has a counter for every defensive coverage. Now there's no spot on the floor that's safe to give her space.
So if you thought Caitlin Clark was a problem for the WNBA last year, prepare yourself. The 2025 version isn't just an upgrade. She's a complete overhaul. Stronger, tougher, smarter, and still armed with that same killer instinct and limitless range. The rookie who endured the physical onslaught has returned as a force ready to dictate the terms of engagement. The league wanted to...
I think it's going to be a situation where maybe she's not the best player in the world straight away. Maybe she's not the best player in the world by game 10. But we can't forget last year that she just got better and better and better. if there's a scenario where, like, I don't think it's far-fetched to say Caitlin Clark could average 23 and 10 next year. The goal should be to fully cement yourself in that conversation next year, and then by year 3, make it so that the only argument, maybe the only argument against her being the best player in the world is A'ja Wilson herself. And then by year 4 or 5, when Juju starts to come into the league, when like when Juju comes in, when Hidalgo come in, people are like, oh, these are the comparisons. I mean, no one's going to have those comparisons if at that stage Caitlin Clark is coming off an MVP season and a title and is the best player in the league.